Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I am half of the great and wonderful and powerful team of Dana and Wendy during our coffee time. Dana is a little indisposed at the moment, but I think she's going to try to jump on when she can. But until then, you're stuck with me. This is Coffee Time with Wendy and Dana. She's someplace having her coffee, I'm sure. Anyways, good morning. Happy Monday. It is the beginning of a new week, the beginning of a new chance. It's a new beginning for lots of things. A lot of people, they tend to go towards setting goals and setting new things, and they like to have a beginning point, and Mondays usually have a tendency to be that way. It's a chance for fresh starts. It's a chance for a fresh beginning for a new week. It's a lot of people begin new diets on a Mondays. They begin new habits that they want to implement into their lives, and they use Monday as one of those jumping off parts, which is, it's cool. That's what people do, and that's okay. Like, just like we have January as being the start of whatever they want to change in their lives. Mondays happen to be one of those things too, as well as the beginning of a month. Now, let's see, March begins on a Monday next week. So we have March 1st tends to be the beginning of a lot of things. Oh, there we go. Good morning, Dana. We are talking about mindset and Mondays and how we really just sort of use Mondays as the jumping off start to a lot of new things. Sometimes we use that almost like a gateway to start into our week or into our whatever it is that we're looking to change or start fresh new every day. That we started with anyways.
Yes, I think I need to print off that Outwitting the Devil manifesto and
Yes.
put it on the
Yes.
mirror in the bathroom and put it above my bed in the morning. So I'm just like, okay, Dana,
Let's get
go to
going.
sleep early and get up early, girl.
Stop drifting.
Stop drifting.
Well, I just happened to come across really by accident, like going through my morning routine of checking in with a lot of my Juice Plus people. We're doing a 90-day challenge. So I check in every morning during the week to see what the challenge is that day, and checking out some of the posts and different things. And this morning, our friend Angela, she's doing, I think, a full week of kind of jumping on and doing lives first thing in the morning in this little group. And Angela Ramos is a new friend of mine. She is a friend of yours from a while ago, but I'm every time I talk to her and see her and listen to her, I just fall in love with her more and more all the time. She's just an amazing lady.
Yeah, she is.
And she was talking about affirmations this morning and books that she is reading by Simon Sinek right now. And these are kind of some books that I think I'm going to be diving into in the next little while with regards to mindset. And she actually told us to download this app. It's called I Am. So I downloaded it this morning, and it sends you little affirmations, and it just sent me one 4 minutes ago. I am proud of myself. And these are the kind of things that I am, really going to look forward to just seeing really quickly throughout the day. And it's just that mental, changing the way that we think is so very important for anything that we want to do in our life. So, I was talking about starting something new on a Monday, but unless we start and stop and we change the way that we think, nothing's ever going to change. We're never going to get beyond that place that we seem to be stuck in, or that we're not moving forward in, or we're not growing out of. And, mindset is just one of those things that I find is so very important. And I tend to talk a lot about it in my private wellness group. Even more than just recipes. And I mean, anybody can throw you recipes and tell you to get your ass off the couch and move and, breathe deeply. But it also has a lot to do with mindset and what you want out of life. Yeah. So I've been really focusing on that in my own personal space, because I mean, it's not something that you get to that's where you get to your goal and then that's it. It's something that's continually evolving as we do as human beings. We evolve all the time. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
self-sabotage
Mhm.
is certainly something as women that we do and we've done, and that is all goes back to that self-confidence level and that whole aspect of just life, right?
Mhm.
And how we've always just undermined ourselves, even as young girls, in that whole comparison and whole the industry of it is just sets us up, honestly.
Yeah.
So even at that young age, then as women, now that we actually have time to breathe for ourselves and take care of ourselves, of that oxygen mask first theory, we actually get to go, okay, you're right, I got to change this thinking
Mhm.
process, or this voice I hear in my head over and over and over again. And it does take that ritual of prayer, meditation,
Yeah.
reading, and affirmation work.
Yeah. I
It
mean,
does.
it sounds very simple when you look at it on paper and that people go, "Ah, what?" They kind of poo-poo it and just like, well, that just seems too simple. It's got to be a complicated thing. It's got to be like a system that's set up and you've got to really dive into it deeply. But the thing is, it can be as simple as having an app on your phone to remind yourself that you
Hmm.
are accomplishing great things in this life, even if you were able to get out of your pajamas that day, as opposed to, being in your pajamas all day. And stuff like that, we tend to, again, we just shove to the side because we don't realize that, yeah, that is an amazing accomplishment for some people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to make $1 million that day to feel accomplished. It's the little things in life, and then how you react to it. If all of a sudden you say, well, shit, I didn't get out of my pajamas today. I must be a piece of crap. I'm not worthy. I don't know why people would bother listening to me. And, all these different things that tend to go on in our heads within a split second. These negative thoughts tend to go through us. It is it These are the things that we end up listening to and resonating with and become part of who we are.
Hmm.
Words are extremely powerful, whether they're voiced or even in our heads, and it is so, very, you have to stand back and kind of witness those thoughts and say to yourself, would you want somebody to say those to your best friend, or would you say those words to your best friend? Why are they acceptable to you, kind of situation? And it's a thought process and something that takes time, like anything, to get into that habit of doing it. But it's very, very important just to have
Hmm.
that constant reminder. And the thing is, I don't know if you were on when we were doing our book club with Napoleon Hill and the Devil, but the one thing that I did pick up on, pretty cool. It was a cool thought that I had in my head when I was going through it, that the devil, when he was talking to Napoleon Hill, said that we don't really start to shift and begin to understand these things till after 40, which was a really kind of a profound thing, considering he wrote it back in 1936 or whatever it was.
Hmm.
But because we go through a point in our lives, and I have had it in my head where I go, damn, I wish I would have known this at 20. I mean, how many times have we said that?
Hmm.
And or we look at our children now and we go, well, why don't they understand? Why
They
don't
don't.
they get this?
They
But
will.
yeah, I
And
have faith in that for
that was a
sure.
such a profound thought, absolutely,
Mhm.
because it's that perhaps it's hormones over mindset, right? Like we're pre-programmed to at 20 to do something, at
Yeah.
30 to do something, and then at
Mhm.
40 we're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay. Now we
snap back
understand.
into it. Let's do something,
Damn, my
and
mother was right.
now we get it. Yeah.
I've got 10 years before my kid is going to say that.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
sit back and
No, no.
indulge to
Mind
know
you
that I am
already.
right.
Exactly. We know.
Yep.
We know.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so good. That's so good. It's wise
Yeah.
words, right? And there's
Mhm.
so many great books out there, and I think it's sticking to one and following following through, like whether it's a prayer book or an affirmation book like that app, or if it's um, even the Bible app sends beautiful
Yeah.
motivational things every morning as well. And it's just being consistent and then utilizing that word of knowledge for the
Hmm.
rest of the day,
Yep.
right? And how can you then carry it forward as well, right? Which is such a blessing.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, too, I mean, it's whatever resonates with you. I mean,
Hmm.
and I think we go through different seasons in our life where we, maybe perhaps resonate very closely with the Bible at one part of our life, and we may carry that throughout the rest of our lives, or we resonate very closely with somebody like Tony Robbins, or we
Yep.
resonate closely with somebody that's more of a spiritual entity in our lives. It's
Hmm.
whatever we happen to be going through
Exactly.
during that time, and that what really speaks to us on a very deep and emotional level. That could be anything. That's a very much a personal and individualized kind of situation.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
sticking with that, like you said, and until that season or that
That's
part
right.
is finished or whatever, but continually finding something that really resonates and speaks to you, because we are constantly growing, we are
Hmm.
constantly evolving, and perhaps the Tony Robbins section of your life is over, and now we have to get into Simon Sinek, or we have to, find something
Right.
else that really speaks to us. And I think that's that continually evolution of our own psyche
Hmm.
and our own selves, and I think that's important for sure,
I
because we
do.
just can't give up. Like it's and giving up is that drifting, as far as I'm concerned. That we're going to say this term a lot now, because anybody that was wondering what we're talking about, please read Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil. It's one of those books that's probably going to stick with us for a while.
I'm definitely going to listen to it again and
Yeah,
again and again. That's
yeah,
for sure. Right. And it just had I think
profound.
it's so profound wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's obvious. A lot of it is super obvious, really. Um, but but it was so written so long ago.
Hmm.
Like, it's just so weird. And it's so weird how it's relevant today.
Yeah,
It's so relevant today. Like, it's
it's
creepy.
timeless. It's timeless.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of it in the book too. I really did. I was like, well, yeah, I kind of knew that already.
But we
But
don't.
maybe it's because we've kind of already picked up on a lot of this. We see a lot of this in these self-help books, whatever you want to call them, self evolutionary books or whatever. A lot of this has resonated in a lot of different great speakers nowadays. I mean, even just listening to Tony Robbins, or I don't know, I can't even think of anybody. There's a lot of
Well,
religious leaders out there right now saying
you
the
have to
same
think,
thing.
say, someone like Tony Robbins would have taken on that theory of the Council of 12, right? He would
Yeah.
have taken on that. So the Council of 12 is like, who in your mindset, who are your heroes, who are your gurus, who are your people that you aspire to become, who are the people that you honor in your walk, or honor in your business, or honor whatever you're doing, right? So he would still be taking the stuff from Dale Carnegie and the stuff from the same sort of people,
Hmm.
right? So, like, say for myself, it's like in prayer, it's like in my prayer journey, my prayer walk, it's like understanding the works from Peter Wagner, who was a very about the same time, honestly, foundational understanding and very gifted in the spirit of in the in prayer, right? And in intercession and things like that, and how to intercede for people. And that was so that's one of my little things. But then there's also that many women, a part of my, like Beth Moore, or like say like Joyce Meyer, who's like she's crazy, but she's so exciting to listen to. But it's amazing how you can still pull out this stuff and listen and understand the mindset component and what they're trying to, and how you utilize that regardless, right?
Hmm.
And it is so important to switch that over, to build this daily routine right?
Mhm.
Which helps build that foundation for you daily,
Yeah.
right? So it's that getting up, doing that affirmation work, doing that meditation and prayer time, walking and taking care of yourself and feeding yourself not only nutritionally,
Mhm.
but for your soul and for your mind,
Yeah.
right? And it's so important to ensure that you're balanced in that aspect, right? So you can't just feast on the food and have famine in your mindset work,
Mhm.
because that will just it just unbalances the scales so severely that you lose your footing,
Mhm.
right? And then it just becomes a slippery slope, a spiral down into depression or emotional eating triggers or into failing health. Um, so many things can happen when your daily scale
Mhm.
becomes unbalanced. So yeah, interesting stuff,
It is.
Wendy.
It is. Yeah, and I believe a lot of times because I mean, I work specifically closely with women that are trying to lose weight, have gone through this yo-yo dieting kind of situation, are kind of on their last, like, I don't know what to do anymore. I want maybe should I just give up? This is the way I am, in that kind of situation, and not realizing that perhaps a lot of this has to do with mindset
Hmm.
and shifting and understanding, and I really think that the mindset is part of that. Eating psychology is part of that missing link for a lot of women,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
relationship with food, but for many things, I mean, and it starts with the baby steps. It starts with really shifting that, becoming that witness to a lot of our thoughts, but without judgment. Just, you're not, you hear the thoughts and you go, well, why would I say that? But you just have to kind of, um, sit back and say, okay, well, I said that, I heard it, let's shift it, as opposed to condemning yourself and putting yourself down even further. So you've got two people talking to you, in a negative connotation, which is not great. You want to, and there's a lot of science out there now, if you want to get to the sciencey end of things, that neuroplasticity, which is the growth of new, neuro pathways in your brain, can be done, with consistency and
Hmm.
practice, and
Hmm.
always going over, and maybe having an app that tells you that you should be proud of yourself every day. Um, and it's scientifically proven that you can change those neural pathways and strengthen them with
Hmm.
positive affirmations. Again, it
And
sounds
hard
woo
work,
woo, and hard work. Well, yeah, it's the
very hard work.
consistency and the practice,
Yeah.
that has to be done. Um, Putting a sticky note on your mirror first thing in the morning, I am beautiful. I did that for a long time when I was going through some really hard times. And it shifts. I mean, even just seeing that visual. I have a couple of sticky notes actually on my computer here right now. I've got one that says, "What would love do?" And I put a little self in it. So I mean, like, it kind of was a reminder to myself that, what would I do in that situation, or what would self love do in that situation? And I'm always kind of reminded of that. When I come to a brick wall and I go, oh, as we all do. And
Hmm.
it's, just a thought to, get beyond that. So yeah, I'm actually in the process. Mindset Monday. I was listening to Angela this morning, but everything really kind of resonated and really, flowed this morning in this direction, because I am working on a program, and I've actually got the program already set up, and one that I've done for a long time. It's called Mindset Reset, and it's a 7-week program that we actually, talk and do the work with regards to a lot of these things, conquering our
Hmm.
thoughts, bringing a lot of positivity into our lives. um, Let me see here. Uh, just, getting past control a lot of times. And this is one of my big things is I'm a bit of a control freak. And, avoiding negativity, seeing the negative things or people that might be in our lives and getting past it. Doing all this kind of work. So I've got that program actually set up, and it's going to be starting on March 4th. So I'm going to be people that are following me can actually, you'll probably see a lot of texts or a lot of posts in the next little while with regards to that. Because a lot of times it's hard. It's hard to stay positive. I know we're out of, well, in Sudbury anyways, we're out of the lockdown, but there's still that kind of looming we're all kind of waiting for the end of April, dare I say, another lockdown coming. We're all kind of on edge still. We're all kind of like, should we enjoy? Is this time to celebrate? Should we just stay back? Everybody's kind of, and we're still kind of messed up from the whole last year of doing this stuff. So I believe mindset is something that we really have to work on. I mean, it's non-negotiable these days. Yeah. I feel that's so very important. And this is one of the reasons why I put this program together. Well, I've morphed it over the years. I've been providing this program since about 2016. About 6 years, 4 years now. So yeah. Yeah, it's just an amazing program, and the people that have gone through it in the past have had, amazing breakthroughs, and hopefully they'll still kind of going through it and understanding it and everything else. But it's some really important techniques to bring about some lasting changes, and it's kind of like the first steps towards understanding yourself. And because we do have this Monday mentality where we go, okay, it's Monday, I'm going to stop sugar all this week, and by the time we get to Thursday, it's we're eating sugar again. Or if you can put it in the big context, this is almost March. How is any changes that you implemented in January 1 done? How are they doing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
So
it's interesting. It's interesting. And as you were talking there, it reminded me that even the conversation yesterday with friends was the staggering number of issues with mental health. So mental health has mindset. Mindset is mental health, and it's understanding at what level or what depth of help that you need. So the mindset reset will certainly allow you to recognize those shortcomings and give you valuable tools to overcome this challenge. But it's a broken system out there, and it's not working for a lot of people. And if we can get in there and offer some hope at some level, it's only going to help build a better foundation of health care, I guess, to the whole system, right? If everyone's willing to help out at some level, and then direct them to the people that are available for the right reason, and understanding and helping people pinpoint the shortcoming, at least we can direct them to the next person, right? And that's what's so beautiful. Once you get, it's like an onion, right? Once you get these top surface aspects understood and give you tools, valuable tools in your health journey, then it's getting back down to that underlying root of the issue, which may or may not be able to be solved by us, but we certainly have an incredible network of partners who can then dig deeper in that next level. But it's this whole, you've got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, right? I don't know how many times I've said this. You have to put the oxygen mask on first at any age, because we are women and we are unfortunately expected to be multitaskers and great visionaries and be able to do all. And that's false. And
Supermom, superwoman mentality.
But it's like, but we all as humans are capable, men or women, are capable of standing up and resounding and being strong, and being able to take the tools and build our tool belt and be able to apply those skills that we learn over the time to manage any situation and scenario, right? And it's not, yes, women out there, men and women out there, exhausted from being at home working,
Mm-hmm.
being at home raising kids, working, being homeschooling kids, managing their children while running a full-time job
Yeah,
from their home. So certainly the wear and tear in the mind is a lot.
it is.
It is a lot.
It's not just a physical thing. It's a mental thing for sure. And because up until we're 40, we've been told that we have to be badass boss ladies, CEOs, nurturing, caring, teachers, mothers, wives, partners. We have to look a certain way. We have to act a certain way. We have to drive a certain kind of vehicle. We have to make a certain amount of money. We have to be able to come home, make a 3-course dinner that's nutritious, healthy for everybody, and accommodates everybody's likes and dislikes. We have to, make sure that the house is kept up 100%. We have to, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. We get to a certain point, usually around 40-ish, that we start going, hell no. Like either we burn out, we crash, we are 40 pounds overweight, we're divorced, our kids hate us, we've lost our jobs, or we feel very unfulfilled in our jobs, or any of the above. And, and we're going like, what the hell, So, hopefully you can listen to us or not listen to us, but please, whatever you do, just take care of yourselves. You're not the only ones going through this. As older women, we know we've been there, we've done it. I've been divorced. My kids do hate me. I've tried to work full time and still be, giving the nutritious meals to them while going to school and being a single mom, blah, 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 the whole thing. We've all been there in one level or another. So we do have a bit of advice to give you guys. And we have a lot of amazing programs and help that we can. So reach out to whoever that's usually over 40, been there, done that kind of situation, and ask for a hug if that's what you need. It's okay. Ask for a glass of wine if that's what you need. Sit down, give yourself some self-care, and be okay with the fact that you're not perfect, and it's okay. I feel like crying all of a sudden, but it's a powerful thing. It's something that's very, very important, and it does come down to mindset, and it is okay to be not okay. We've kind of gone through, what is it, the 2000s or the 90s? That was that kind of the message. It's okay not to be okay, but understand that it has a lot to do with a mindset, and it really does stem from there. Because hell, you can make a perfect meal if you want, get the kids to their 30 different activities after school, be the perfect wife and look a certain way and dress a certain way to make sure that your girlfriends are all ooh and ah about the way you supposedly live your life. That's not reality. I've never really been the type of person that cared that much about that kind of stuff, but it has a lot to do with mindset and just shifting a little bit, and, talking to people, making sure that you have some support system around you, and learning how to do that. Take a sticky note and put it on the bathroom. It might feel a little bit odd at first. If that feels odd, put it on your phone. Your phone's going to talk to you and give you notifications one way or the other anyways. So might as well put a little app that tells you you're beautiful and you're worthy. If you're not getting text from the man or the woman that you're with at the moment and they're pissing you off or whatever, or your kids have forgotten to tell you that, you're a really great mom, or your friend has forgotten or whatever, it's something that is important to tell yourself. Because until you tell yourself, it's not going to make much difference anyways. You're going to be like, whatever. We never really believe everybody else until we believe it for ourselves. So so that's it for today, I think.
I was thinking while you were talking that it's, you there might be women that are listening that are trying to be a boss babe, and they are striving and they are working hard to kick ass, and they are an entrepreneur trying to conquer the world, and that's their goal and that's what they want. And they want to just know that you have so many soulmates around you that want to come alongside and see you succeed. And if you need that help, be sure to ask, right?
Mhm.
Because we're all here to pick each other up and to push each other forward. And there's never any judgment of what you've chosen in your goals or your paths, in that, um, you know, you want to be in stilettos, in your dress pants, working your ass off.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You want to be at home making beautiful dinners and doing everything in that aspect, then do it, because
Yeah.
you need to stand firm in your what you want to believe and
Mhm.
what you want to, your aspirations and what your goals and what your missions are, because that's what you have to honor about yourself. And just know that we as women just want to come alongside you and just honor where you're at and push you forward, because we're all in this together, and
Mhm.
we all have to, you know, we all wake up at the same time. We all go to bed at the same time when the sun rises and the sun sets, and we're all here to be with you and to be, your cheerleaders.
Mhm.
And so wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and you need to be cheerleaded, then let us know, because your sisters are going to rally around you. So don't be ever
Yeah.
afraid to ask. Don't ever be afraid to ask for cheerleaders. So
Yeah. Yeah. And just taking that a little bit step further, uh, knowing and trusting and believing in your inner voice
yeah,
and your inner goals, your inner whatever faith, and living that even when you have nobody around you or you feel like you have nobody around you, eventually the people will come. It's
yeah,
that like or that attraction.
yep,
Like meets like. It took me a long time to find Dana, but she finally came around. And, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have people around you
hmm,
finally. And the rest of my girls too. So Darlene and Dawn
hmm,
too. Yeah, just hold the faith and it will happen. It does happen. So what was I going to say? I think that's pretty much it.
that's
Oh,
all.
we're probably going to be continuing this women thing, coming into March with International Women's Day in March is going to be,
Yeah.
we're going to be roaring strong, proud women all through March, with a lot of that too, because I'm very much a feminist and a person, and I don't believe that that's a bad thing. A lot of people think, oh, feminist, she doesn't shave her armpits and doesn't wear a bra or whatever. That's not what feminism is all about. So I'm probably going to be talking a lot more about that later on. But for today, I think we'll cut it off there and we'll chat tomorrow. What are we going to, we're going to talk hormones tomorrow, I think, eh, Dean?
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Is there anything
Perfect.
else you wanted to say
So,
or, huh?
yes.
Are you still
It
there?
keeps freezing. My computer keeps
Yeah.
freezing. So it's time to go.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.